What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in. Well, we made it out of Central Florida yesterday. Put in a long drive day to get to Topsail Preserve State Park. We were kind of looking forward to getting here. Heard a lot of good things about this park, so we're looking forward to getting here. We knew it was just an overnight, but we were hoping we'd have a little bit of time yesterday evening to maybe do a little exploring around the park, get some footage, show it to you guys. But Mother Nature had other ideas. It started raining yesterday about halfway here, and it has not stopped. It rained and rained, and it's still raining, so not much to see in the rain, unfortunately. They do offer a trolley here that will take you down to the beach that runs at the top of every hour, so that's kind of a nice feature. The site that we were in site 67. It was a full hookup site. The sites are pretty close together. It reminds you more of a resort type camping area versus like a state park, but unfortunately not a lot to see driving around here in the rain. So we're going to go ahead and get on the road this morning. We're headed over to Bayou Segnette State Park in Louisiana. That's the plan anyway. So we're going to try to visit the World War II Museum that's over there in New Orleans, just outside New Orleans. So looking forward to getting there. Hopefully this weather lets up for us. Looks like it should break apart as we head toward Louisiana, so we'll see what happens. Well, we've made it to Bayou Segnette State Park. Man, long drive day. Shouldn't have been too long, but rained the whole time. Came through New Orleans in the rain. That wasn't a fun time. That was a bit stressful. But we're here now. We got checked in. We did not have a reservation when we pulled up. We tried to go on Reserve America and make the reservation, but you have to make your reservation 48 hours in advance. So if you don't make it 48 hours in advance, then you have to, it's basically a walk-up site. You have to make the reservation when you get here. So we did that. The gentleman has us all checked in. We're going to head over to site 44. Since we're getting here so late, the plan was to get here earlier in the day and then go over and see the World War II Museum this afternoon. Since we got here a little later than we had planned, we went ahead and booked 2 nights here, so we'll stay tonight. We'll go in the morning to the World War II Museum. That's the plan. I think Dylan and I are going to go over there and check it out, and then we'll kind of go from there. We do have tomorrow night booked here if we need it, if we want to stay. We'll see what happens, but for now, let's go see Bayou Segnette State Park. Alright, so Dylan and I got up this morning and we headed over to check out the World War II Museum right there in New Orleans. It's only about 15 to 20 minutes, depending on traffic, from the campground here at Bayou Segnette State Park. And Man, what an experience. That place was awesome. Dylan, did you enjoy it?
Yes, it's really awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. So it took us about 3 hours to get through it. I don't feel like we missed anything. It's basically, I think there's 3 big buildings that have catwalks that connect them, so to go across the street, so you don't have to actually exit the building to go to the next building. They're doing construction on it. They're adding some new features to it. They're adding a new section. So just a very massive place, and they do a fantastic job of taking you through the very beginning stages of World War II, before the U.S. involvement, all the way up to illustrating how anti-war the U.S. was during that time, up until Pearl Harbor, and then seeing the real change in the mentality of the United States after that happened. But they do a great job of walking you through all that. Tremendous amount of history there, and just so many just so many artifacts from that time. They talk about, they have a phenomenal D-Day display there that just goes through the whole build up to D-Day and what happened post D-Day. So great job by the museum there, and really glad we went. So we had to buy the tickets. They want you to purchase your tickets in advance. So went online. You have a time slot on your ticket when you can show up. Once you're in, you can stay as long as you want. So our time was 9:15, so we got there just shortly before 9:15, and tickets were $28.50 for an adult and $18 for kids.
And you guys had to, you parked in the parking garage, right?
Yeah, we did. We did park in the parking garage. So it ended up costing us $10 to park. So up to 3 hours is $10. So about $10 to park, plus the admission to get in. So a little more of one of our more expensive excursions that we do. Yeah. We try to keep it pretty inexpensive, but really was excited to show Dylan. We've been to Jamestown, so we've seen kind of the whole progression. It's really neat because you see like the settlement in Jamestown and how all that started.
Yeah.
And then after Jamestown, you go to the Yorktown and Williamsburg, but the Yorktown battlefield, and see all that Revolutionary War history. And then we've been over into Kentucky to some of Lincoln's birthplace, and when you're talking about Lincoln, you're talking about a lot of stuff involving the Civil War. And then to come here and see World War II. So just been a nice progression through history that Dylan's got to see, and that's one of the big things we were excited about when we made the decision to do the full-time traveling and live in our RV. That's what we were hoping we would be able to do, is to really get out and have Dylan experience some of this historical stuff instead of just reading about it in books. And that's what we did today, and it was awesome. Had a great time.
Yep.
Yep, he enjoys history, so it's been great to be able to let him see it firsthand. And since I'm not into history as much as them, we decided to save the extra $28, and I stayed here and caught up on laundry and took care of some things that needed to be taken care of before we get back on the road tomorrow.
Yep, so we got kind of a longer drive day ahead of us tomorrow. We're going to be heading over to Texas. We will be out of Louisiana tomorrow, so going to head to an Army Corps Engineers campsite there. We're excited to get into Texas. We're going to be visiting with some friends of ours while we're there, so we're excited to see them. Haven't seen them in a long time. So a lot to look forward to as we go over into Texas. As you can see, obviously that terrible weather that followed us for the last 2 days is long gone. Beautiful, beautiful day, bright sunny blue sky. Temperature is in the low to mid 60s today, so just a fantastic day to get out. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to take Nix out. We're going to go for a walk around the campground, and we'll give you guys a little look at this campground. It is extremely wet. Man,
yeah.
if you thought camping down in the Everglades was camping in a swamp, well, you've never camped in Louisiana, because this is big time swamp. But I will say that even though A lot of the area around the campsites is flooded. The actual sites themselves are kind of built up high enough to where it doesn't look like they flood very easily. You'd have to have a tremendous amount of water in here to actually get up into the sites. So we're going to take a walk around here and show you guys what this place looks like.
Yep.
Walk around the campground and get kind of to the end of our camping loop. We got a little boardwalk, so definitely got to take this and see where this goes through too. But you can see how swampy it is back here. It's definitely pretty swampy for sure. So the boardwalk comes out by the bathhouse right here, which is by the playground. Dylan had to check that out real fast. And now the boardwalk continues over on this side of the road. So we'll go over here and see where it leads from there. Well, it walks out to a dead end. And this would be the end of the boardwalk. So here's our spot, site 44. Nice open area to the side of us. I will say that the site itself is not super level side to side. They tried to build it up, looks like in the back, to get a little closer to level, but I still had to get on some blocks there on this side to get up pretty close to level before we auto leveled it. Then you come around here to the campsite and you can see it's pretty wet. Pretty wet, but they've had quite a bit of rain here. But even as wet as it is, you know, the picnic table and the concrete pad that it's on isn't covered in water. Fire pit's not in the water, but the water ain't far away from it. So that's our site. Like we said earlier, we're looking forward to getting back on the road and getting over to Texas. But before we do that, we have to add a few stickers to our Florida County map and go ahead and add some to our USA map. Alright, so the first county we're going to add to our Florida map is going to be Walton County, which is right up here in the Panhandle. That's where we stayed at Topsail Preserve State Park. And then for our USA map, we're going to add Louisiana. Alright, that's going to wrap it up here from Louisiana. We're excited to get over to Texas, and we'll bring that all to you guys as usual. Appreciate you guys watching, and we'll catch you guys down the road.